The lesson.
Oh yeah.
And then so if you backtrack a bit to, this when this first video popped off, you mentioned something in there about like that you were battling, which I found really interesting because like you used to battle was it in the 1-outs and the amped up?
Yeah, in the 1-outs, yeah.
So when I first heard your music, the last thing I would have imagined was that you had a background in, a cappella battle rap.
Yeah.
When you, tell us a bit about that. Like, what made you get into the battle circuit, and what did that actually do for you?
I think I got into it because I used to watch a lot of battles, and I used to watch a lot of American battles as well. And remember watching like the Kerser and 360 battle, and even just like a lot of like Greeley's battles as well and stuff. And I always used to think it was just very comedic and stuff. And like I really like the aspect of like humor in rap as well. Like I like to make people laugh, and like I like to like that's just who I am. That's the entertainer that's within me, I guess. So watching all of that sort of stuff, I really wanted to get amongst it. And then Junior was running stuff with Real Music at the time with Codex, which Codex was doing all the 1-out stuff. So then I sort of just put my name forward, and I think the first battle that I had was against Dimmy, which Dimmy is now Oliver Munn, which he's just doing crazy stuff as well. But yeah, and we had like a shave your head comp, so it was like when we battled like the loser would have to shave their head. And so I was very overconfident to be like, I'm not losing this. So I just wrote like really, I don't know, like obscure shit. And it's just really funny because like, you could just do like, especially in Australia, like if you get something that's like sort of really complex and stuff, a lot of the stuff can go over people's heads. Where if you just call like the person like a fuckhead or a shit cunt or something like that, they'll love that. They'll eat that up. So there was a lot of that involved. And then I ended up winning, and I shaved his head, and yeah, it was really it was mad funny. And then after that, that was filmed, and then the dude that filmed that battle didn't, like, something happened to the SD card or something, so they lost the footage for it. And so I was like, I will battle again because I sort of just want to see if I'm any good. And so the next one was with Sturdy in Hosier Lane, which is, yeah, on YouTube still now. And yeah, there was just, it was just fun. And I think I ended up winning that one. But I didn't do any more battles, and it doesn't mean that I wouldn't do it again, but it was just really funny at the time to do it. But looking back on it now, there's some crazy shit in there. So yeah, it's pretty funny, man.
Now, when you mentioned that, you obviously haven't battled in a while, but you wouldn't necessarily not do it again. What would it take for you to step into the battle arena again? Because obviously it's very different to making a song, and your career is in a different position than it was back then.
Yeah, for sure. It would really just depend, I would say, on if I was getting paid, because I feel like now I know my worth a lot more as well. Like when you're just starting out, you do anything that you can to get your name out there. And I'm still like I wouldn't even say that I'm completely like successful yet. Like I'm still getting my stuff out there, and I got to be in like those sort of circumstances. But if I was to do a battle again, it would be like, you've got to think of all the other things that come with it as well, because you don't want to be isolated as just being a battle rapper. And some people do get isolated as doing that. And I was sort of isolated a little bit for a little while, because every like article or anything that would come out about me would always say like, oh, used to be like a history in battle rapping or something like that, and now it's like change the table or anything. And yeah, I don't know, it's sort of a tricky one. Like if it was definitely someone that I admired that was a great battle rapper, then I would definitely go up against them, because it's also a bit of fun. But there's lots of dudes that are in that scene that I thoroughly respect for the grind of just like writing something every 3 weeks, and it can be something that's like mad long as well, and you've got to memorize that and have that in your head, and there's no beat and there's no pattern or anything. You just got to fully rinse it. So the ones that are great at it are amazing. But yeah, I would definitely do it again if it was like probably the right price, I would say.
Off the top of your head, if you could pick anyone to battle for whatever reason, ultimately because you just think it'd be a good matchup and it'd be a good battle, off the top of the head, does anybody come to mind?
Like Australian or American?
Let's do both, Aussie and American.
Man, like, So American, I'd probably love to battle Token Man. Like, I really enjoy Token stuff, and I just think that he's hilarious in some of the stuff he writes. And like, probably in Australia, it would be like, at that time, at like the Got Beefs like decade, would be like probably 360 Man, because I find him hilarious. Some of the stuff he comes up with is genius, and like I just think that it's mad funny. Like I always used to laugh at his shit, man. So like, and I mean, I used to laugh at Kerser's shit. Like I love all battle rappers just because they're so creative in the stuff that they do. But I think that what would suit me would be, yeah, those two dudes. So yeah, for sure.
Now, you know, when you mentioned those two guys in battle rap, they're responsible for, in my opinion, you know, the biggest rap battle in Oz history. Some people may disagree, but I think a lot of people would agree. Now, as someone who's a fan of battle rap, particularly in that time, did you watch that battle when it first came out? And, you know, what do you recall from watching that at the time?
I remember watching it, and it was like, I remember when it was happening, and I remember I didn't go. And then, I remember that I watched it with like a bunch of friends, and I was like, man, this is so sick. And then like, it would just be conversations about like who won. And like, yeah, it was like, I sort of just found more so that it was definitely like path changing in the sense of like what hip hop's going to be, because like they're both different people and they're both like from different backgrounds and stuff. So like, it's just going to be like, you know, whoever that you are more like, whoever's more relatable to you, you're going to go with that side. So like, I mean, a lot of the people around my area, they were into like 360, and then like there would be a lot of people that were in like, yeah, like Sydney and stuff that were into Kerser and shit. And like, it was sort of just, it was very path defining, I would say. Like that's what I sort of noticed, is the rappers that would come out would be either like products from those two dudes. And like, it still sort of is in a similar way today. I mean, like they were the first to do it, and anyone I would say that too. Like it's more, yeah, they paved the way for a lot of people to do their shit. And I mean, like, probably if it wasn't for like either of those guys, I wouldn't be sitting here, and a lot of other dudes probably wouldn't be talking to other dudes as well, because it wouldn't be like a very notable thing. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
And when you think back to it, or, you know, I don't know when the last time you watched it was, but from the last time you remember watching it, in your personal opinion, who do you think won it and why?
I would literally say that, like, to me, if I was gonna like judge that, it would literally be a draw, because like there's no, like, I know it's like a best out of three thing, but like there's nothing better than just having something that is a draw anyway. Like if there's two people that like come with all their shit and like they memorize all their lines and like they just hit every punch like so well, like there's like, I wouldn't be able to tell. Like, I'd just be, if I was sitting there as a judge, I'd just be sitting there stumped, because I'd just be like, that was fucking sick. So I could like honestly wouldn't be able to tell you, but like they are both great at what they do, and so yeah, it was just cool, man.
The lesson. 927. Oh yeah.